Welcome to your personal monthly transit forecast. This is the Peace Dealer, and I hope you gain the utmost of value from this report. Thank you so much for your patience. Of course, we're going to look into Virgo season and break down the transits as such before we go into the tarot cards for each sign. And congratulations for making it to Virgo season. There's this negative, salty vibe that accompanies with this surplus of Earth. So don't let the gravity weigh down your passion that has been sustained in Leo season. Fully let people have their expectations of you, whether positive or negative, and just move forward, because even the height and full complexity of what most will be brought to you is utterly meaningless. Keep that in mind with the Neptune opposition being made. This is an analogy for understanding that there's nothing you really need to there are no outside influences that you really need to let perturb you. There is nothing or no one you have to prove anything to. Okay, this is very important as you're establishing greater authority in your life. You can really fall in the trap of feeling like you need to prove this authority. As long as it's established within, you don't need to prove it to a soul. Real recognize real, and Virgo is the realist zodiac sign. And so we're in a realist season. And we are stepping into a masterful integration of everything that we have accomplished. So, during the way from Aries season to here, you've made mistakes. You've done some stuff that you might have felt has been fallen short of, or you might have excelled. Whether it was both or not, you owe no one an explanation. You owe no one an apology. You owe it to yourself and everyone else to just keep moving forward the best you can be. And trust me, this opposition to Neptune retrograde is going to bring up the past in passive-aggressive, shady ways that you do not have to let define you or perturb you. It is an influence that you can actually transmute through your courageous response, and outside of that shady-ass element that will come directly from other people. This is going to be an amazing season. And this is going to have you begin to counterattack as we close up over the next 6 months this opposition to a conjunction in Neptune and meet this at the source where it's at. This doesn't mean Pisces is shady. The distortion of Pisces is super shady. Okay, so keep that in mind. We start, of course, this transit stepping into a amazing conjunction of Sun, Venus, and Mars, leading us into current present day where Mercury and the Moon have caught up in Virgo season. So this is preparing this cycle in a very amazing way that's going to emerge magical new techniques from you that you have sparked since Aries season of this year, following the conjunction of Uranus, that is now ready to flesh itself out in your behavior. Telling you, my friends, this is where things get super magical. This is where things get super amazing. And the infusion of Mars and the Sun and Mercury and Venus is literally blessing your behavioral aptitude with new techniques, new ways to take everything you've mastered and do it in more efficient ways with greater quality. And I just want to say this the way I want to say this. My bad for holding back. Magic, 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 guys. You guys are coming into a greater perception of magical awareness that's going to skyrocket. This is a culmination point. The mountaintop is 5 months from now in Capricorn season, but this is really grounding and fleshing out through your habits. You're truly successful, even if you don't have like $1 billion in the bank, but you have the habits of a billionaire, you will become a billionaire, inevitably. And you are now, of course, instilling habits of what success means to you in relation to the environment around you, which is heavily influenced by Jupiter and Neptune. So keep this in mind. because the new cycle that we have initiated is taking into account Jupiter and Sag in its ruling place, Neptune and Pisces in its ruling place, Saturn and Cap in its ruling place, Mercury and Virgo in its ruling place. We're starting this cycle and planting the seeds of enhanced behavioral mastery or enhanced subconscious mastery with the keen analytical vision of Mercury. So Mercury and Virgo is like the stenographer at a court case, writing down everything that's said. That's actually more Gemini. Mercury and Virgo is the stenographer still, but also the critic. Mercury and Virgo is the analyzation of experience, taking everything that you're experiencing and literally processing that information and chunking out bite-sized details. That's linked with Mars and Venus. So you are perfecting the level of desire and pleasure with which you are going to be exerting your conscious focus towards everything you love, basically. Okay, it's drawing on Neptune. It's making dreams real here. The thing here, though, is it's drawing on Neptune, and your own desires can be muddled by illusions and not balancing with integrity. What fog comes up with false promises other people bring, deception that comes from people, even people who mean well, but they're lying to themselves. It will still influence you. And so you need to really see things as they are for real. This is where Jupiter and Sagittarius will take this shady element and provide a 90-degree hard angle of light to really evoke a much higher meaning of the situation. So you have Mercury and Virgo that's going to analyze everything too seriously and very factually, right? Mercury and Pisces is like, it was a very nice day today. It made me feel inspired. While music is playing in the background to reflect that. Mercury and Virgo was like, it was 72 degrees today, and my shirt, I was sweating a lot, but it's all good. I was reading a technical book about the weather anyway, ironically. Horrible analogy, but you get the difference. Virgo is giving you contextual analysis. And what is it drawing in? It's drawing in this Neptunian boundless energy. That could be anything. All right. Imagination is something that could be anything. Right now, you can think any thought. You can imagine anything. And you can be psychically receptive to the extra dimensional and etheric energy that has yet to manifest. And that's really the difference between Virgo and Pisces. Pisces is the limitless version of Virgo. Virgo is not really finite as much as it is physical. So you imagine a key and Virgo makes that key. So keep that in mind, because you're taking this boundless Neptunian energy and you're funneling it through the specific lens of Mercury. Oh no. And this is very important. All right. And never mind that. Oh no, I had to handle a file moving error. But other than that, Neptune is bringing in this abstract quality. But what makes Neptune very amazing is it's representing sensing within that diffuseness and intuiting the mystery of experience. Now, is it really a mystery? No, but to us it is, because we can't see that high dimensionally. But this is where Virgo fleshes this out. Okay, so we know that if a higher dimensional object is shown in this real dimension, it's going to project itself in the parameters of what we can see, but there's more to it that changes. Neptune is that ultimate dimensional construct. So Jupiter in Sagittarius offers us an ascension of being able to see this context at a higher level, to be inspired to visualize that which is unreal in some cases and will be the catalyst for what will change your life. And that's really what I want to leave you with this Virgo season. Every day, every mutable sign is life-changing, and every day is life-changing. But when I say this Virgo season is going to change your life, especially into the activating phase of this cycle, as the moon goes from Virgo to Sagittarius, this is going to take all the change in your perception from March in Pisces season, and it's going to offer real analysis that with this updated data over the past 6 months, you now change your decisions. It's preparing you for decisions made in Libra season. But there's a crazier element to this, because now Uranus is in Taurus and Jupiter is in Sagittarius. So this is going to really flip on your head a lot of what you thought was real. And this is why I'm saying people are going to be shady, guys. And this is where things are going to be flipped on their head. That's really all I can say regarding that, because you're going to find that people got it twisted, especially you. For some weird reason, people got stuff really twisted. Oh, here we go. More than they realistically should, if we're going to be honest here. And this is where, stepping into the full moon, you start to correct these misperceptions. Even though it's not going to stop people from just getting you twisted and misconstruing you, this is going to allow you to organize your working perception up until this point so that you can show and analyze. Okay? Oddly enough, there's no Gemini. So there's really nothing to say. There's no Libra, there's no Aquarius, there's no Gemini. There's nothing to say. There's nothing to think about. We're just analyzing and organizing as we prepare to shift. Okay? So keep that in mind, because the moon in Sagittarius is going to be a very important transit where we start to really feel this shift very exponentially, okay? Because once we start to go to the full moon to harvest this new moon cycle, this is what's going to create a supernatural and unreal element to what is manifesting. This is what's going to change our life because of our changed behaviors, where if you've been implementing changes in your lifestyle, you're taking things out and implementing new stuff, in a very short week, you're going to start seeing results for that. So the 5th to the 12th is all about making changes. You're going to be, from the end of the month to the 5th, instilling new lifestyle changes. And then from the 5th to the 12th, as you work out, you may find that elements of your routine need changes, because you've done it for a week and you're analyzing it and you're like, okay, we need to do less of this. This is how other people are showing up for this, so we need to make adjustments. And that's what the 5th to the 12th represents, leading us into the full moon, bam, where we're really experiencing a divine sense of the reality that we have. And we're able to see what about our unrealistic dreams we can make real. This is really dope. It's actually one of the most magical full moons we're going to have for this year. And really everything up until now from this full moon is preparing us for the balsamic phase. So we're wrapping up Libra. We're wrapping up Virgo. Full moon to the 3rd quarter square is where we've harvested our crops, and now we're taking the rewards. What crops belong to me? What crops are divvying up? And you'll find that as the moon goes from Pisces to Gemini, by this period, you've straightened up people who've had you misconstrued. You're now manifesting passionate facts. Now, what's important here is that, and trust me, passionate. Once the moon slips in to Aries, Mercury and Venus are already in Libra. So this is the section of the Virgo season where majority of the change has been implemented, and now we're immediately bridging this with relevant characters in our life, and also reaping the very amazing effects of changed behavior. This is going to be super awesome, very transformative, especially the moon in Aries. So from the moon in Gemini, from the moon in Pisces to moon in Gemini, the moon's going to go over Neptune, the moon's going to go over Chiron, the moon's going to go over Uranus, all retrograde. This is going to integrate the reevaluations of how you trust in your intuition, of how you confront your ego shadow, and of how you embrace your weirdness. What also happens is Saturn goes direct, and it's go time, baby. So from this 3rd quarter square, This is so important. This is the only time we're going to finally have some logic back online. And what this is going to do is effectively supplement your working analytical awareness of your reality with the truth. It's going to take everything that you've analyzed all season, and it's going to supplement this with the actual truth to put this in square and correct your facts. So yeah, you've analyzed all of this, you've seen certain stuff by the 5th, and you've crystallized an ultimate understanding based off of your evidence. And so the moon in Gemini is going to be like, okay, but here's the truth. So anything out of line in your evidence that you pick from the truth, you can adjust. Very important. Because a lot of you are going to find that stuff that has been researched seems a certain way versus what's actually true. For example, someone could seem like the suspect of a murder case, and the facts can show you that a certain person was at the scene of a crime and held the murder weapon. But you may find the truth was he didn't shoot and kill the guy. He was there and he was framed, or he held the gun because he was trying to chase away the person who killed the person. So keep that in mind. That's what a transit like this will teach you. And as we close, this is definitely going to end Virgo season with a bang, as Mars gets ready to leave Virgo season, and the trine to Capricorn will organize very critically what we have ready to move forward with. It's going to be great season to upgrade your finances and harvest the work that you've done. Especially for those of you who've been feeling inactive, it's because you're changing direction this Virgo season. So I hope you enjoyed this synopsis. Get ready to change your life for real, and let's get to the tarot readings. What's up, one and all? Welcome to the tarot card portion of this personal monthly transit forecast. Stay tuned for the end of this, and after Pisces I'll draw one more general card for the whole energy, okay? And other than that, we're going to start with Aries. This applies to your rising sign, your moon sign, your sun sign, and even if you have no energy there, if it's your 5th house, this will denote more so energy that will influence you around the afternoon, evening, or anything to do with your creative impulse. So just letting you know, like, every single sign applies. Virgo season, let's get it. Aries, we got the Ace of Wands for you. So, you know, energy is sparking with you as usual, and this is calling you to really say yes to opportunities that spark your heart and excite your spirit. And that's really it. This is going to be an exciting new direction and energy for you. Okay, Taurus. We have the 3 of Cups. So this season for you is bringing celebration, but ritual too, and connecting with people that you can actually do things with on a recurring basis. It's going to be like a party, and you might be invited towards, but it's going to be more so like a celebration. And that celebration will mark the beginning or, institution of a new routine that you and friends do. Might not be at the same place, but just keep that in mind. It doesn't mean in some cases that you'll make new friends, but a celebration is in order this season that is so well deserved. It's going to tie around your accomplishments and a personal dream being achieved, okay? Gemini. We have the Queen of Swords. So look, this queen is going to be a central figure in your life this season. Many Gemini women watching this, you are probably this queen, and this is going to really sharpen your intellect with the keen analysis that you make. But even if you are a Gemini woman, for Gemini, this really can represent the influence of a highly intelligent woman that you're going to be, dealing very closely with. In most cases, she'll advise you, but it's also really urging you to be highly and very professional. Cancer. Cancer, no matter how many people try and bring you down, no matter how many people try and hurt you, just stand back up and smile. Trust me. No matter how many people try and, attack your character and detach, get back up and smile. Trust me. Because people are trying to lord over you and intimidate with power, but they don't know that you have the ultimate resolve and that holy source. We have the Page of Pentacles for you. The Page of Pentacles is talking about reinventing yourself and really coming up with a more fresh way to conduct business. But in many cases, changing up your workout routine, studying something new, gaining grounding. But this is really more about redeveloping self-esteem and, once again, reinventing yourself, especially if you started a new business venture. Leo. We have the Queen of Wands. So similar to Gemini and Cancer, you are dealing with a relevant figure, okay? Cancer is more so dealing with a newness. It's more a message for them. But Gemini and Leo, you're dealing with relevant figures, all right? Authorities in their own craft. So just like Gemini woman, Leo woman, you might be this queen. You are this Queen of Wands. But this also, in some cases, will deal with you dealing with someone else who is also like the Queen of Wands, which is important because she's going to match your passion. Just like the Queen of Swords will match Gemini's intellect, the Queen of Wands is going to match your passion. The Queen of Wands is actually an Aries woman, and the Queen of Swords is a Libra woman. So both of you having that opposition is kind of important and, may be involved together. So keep that in mind. But you're really going to be experiencing success in business, and this month is calling for you, the season is calling for you to really express yourself more courageously and prepare to be more popular than you already are, okay? Or deal with someone who's very popular and deal with someone who's very popular. Virgo. We have the Nine of Wands, the side-eye card, okay? But we also have the Tower. We'll pull a bonus one for you because it's your birthday season. So the Tower and the Nine of Wands is talking about averting disaster by applying discernment, okay? Letting your experience guide you. You're going to be feeling very protective this season. And if you don't trust anyone, that's because I don't think most of you are worthy of your trust. So really keep that in mind. You will avert disaster if you are a little bit more protective than you need to be. Normally this card warns against being too protective because you miss opportunities. Screw that advice. Just be very mindful. You don't have to worry about anyone deceiving you because you'll know, okay? Libra. We have the Five of Cups. So the Five of Cups is expressly speaking of forbidden doom manifesting as eloquence through the magnitude of esteemed noble grace trampled upon by the consequences of patriarchal influences. Totally whip that out my ass. I want to get poetic. The Five of Cups for you, Libra, is disappointment. It's just really feeling sucky, okay? Please keep in mind, because you kind of act as therapists for people, I think this is the energy you're going to attract this season. This may not be you. I think the Five of Cups may be a central figure, not a central figure, because it's not a major arcana, but it might be an energy you attract from others. You might be just attracting people who sulk. Because I feel like if this did represent you, it's because you're letting the energy around you influence you that way. And people are just coming at you for their advice, even though you don't really care how they feel, but they know you're nice and you can give them expert advice. For those of you who are really dealing deep in your soul with some hardcore wretched stuff, it gets worse, okay? It gets worse. But I really invite for you to let it go, because you have already resolved this disappointment, and you're feeling and holding out for an energy that has long since moved on from you. And I'm trying not to say this in a way where there's a caveat, it'll be all okay. No, you actually want to take this as not a victory, accept it for what it is, but feel that pain and be prepared to transition, because it's definitely going to highlight more wisdom through this pain and sober you up in some cases. Scorpio, that was heavy energy. That was very heavy energy. Because 5 of Cups is Mars in Scorpio, or Venus in Scorpio. Scorpio, we have the Saturn and Taurus card. This is saying long-term investments are the way to go. You're speculating, and there's going to be a pause this season. It's like money will be coming in, but you want to pause with that money. You want to stockpile that money. It's going to count very well in the future. And this is actually promised victory here, but there has to be adjustments being made before you move forward. And that's what you really want to treat this month like. Don't be tempted to make any impulsive expenditures or actions. And anything that's developing will take time this whole season to Virgo, slowly build, and then leaps it, boom. Sagittarius. We have, I'm not even surprised, the Strength card, the Infinite Warrior of Light. Yeah, this is talking about passions, sex, happiness, love, but really sex, but really passion expressed forth throughout everything that instills you with courage, where you're really just gonna be an inspiration. But really, for you, Sag, this Virgo season, that's your 10th house, is just gonna click on the infinity like ping, and then you do your thing until your birthday period, like you always do every year. But this is lit because this is definitely instilling a greater celestial cosmic force from the source that really inspires it and takes the fullness of what this Leo season taught you and fully fleshing it out. I think you got the best card so far out of everybody. I mean, Strength card is totally resonating, Jupiter directing your sign, and you're really going to conquer a lot around you through this mastered expression of your creativity. But I think the picture says more than I can say, to be honest. I'm grasping for words. Capricorn. We have the Hermit. So there's expert advice you're going to be gaining from within. This is really, throughout this season, analyzing the details and really coming into a conclusion over the next month that's going to be very definitive and resolute and good for you. This Hermit card is like teaching you certain occult mysteries about yourself that only you can know. So heed your advice differently from others who have outside opinions about stuff that only you know intimately. But other than that, prepare for some very expert advice and prepare to really engage in silent counsel this season that will steer you the right way and guide others with you. It's not at all like you being a hermit. If you're a hermit, you could be introverted, but it's really you fleshing out a deep secret about yourself that can master techniques you're utilizing. Aquarius, we have the 5 of Pentacles. The 5 of Pentacles is talking about taking a loss of some kind, downsizing, and really feeling a sense of lack. It can also deal with certain people you're dealing with in this capacity, like Libra. You might be helping or dealing with someone who is in a state of poverty. But this isn't really disappointment like Libra as much as it is the opportunity to think more productively. Keep this in mind too, because this is going to let you know who your friends are this season based off of who really cares about your situation. And finally, Pisces, we have Ace of Wands that we started with. So you and Aries are winning. You, Aries, and Sagittarius literally got the best cards here. So Pisces, you get the Ace of Wands, but you're literally sparking in your will and manifestation rawly into existence. Whereas to Aries, it'll happen to them. Pisces, you're going to initiate this. So I'm going to end this here, and the final card that we have for everybody is the Queen of Cups and the World card. There's a completion of love here, a mastery of emotion that's going to really soothe and nurture your deepest feelings and prepare you for Libra season, which will be exceptionally intense. So this Queen of Cups could represent a central figure to some of you who literally has the world in her hands, and she might be deeply in love with you. But this is also speaking about really coming into mastering completion of your hobbies and the things you love to do that allow you to gain freedom from as your psychic abilities transcend. Stay blessed as always. Peace.